On the call this morning, U.S. futures continue to rebound ahead of a confidence vote for the Greek Prime Minister after top EU officials assure investors that Greece will not default. The euro currency advances on the news, causing a retreat in the U.S. dollar and a rally in crude oil. Can markets extend this bounce off lows after home sales numbers are released? I'm Alex Steele, and the morning call starts right now.
Good morning. I'm Scott Redler, Chief Strategic Officer with T3Live.com.
And I'm Alex Steele with The Street, and together we bring you the morning call. Scott, happy Tuesday. It's step by step for the markets here, right? We see a rally on Monday. We see futures up again on Tuesday. Does this rally have some kind of conviction here, or is this you just got to take it day by day?
Day by day, step by step. First step was yesterday for all the marbles. Were we going to be able to hold that 200-day moving average? Can we go from being down 5 handles to up? And yesterday was a decent reversal, a decent setup, even for traders that like to buy things from negative to positive to see what is strong, what goes first. And yesterday, you saw the spiders go from down 40 cents to almost up 70. So that was a decent trade in the indices.
So it was good for traders, but was it good for investors, or did they still have to wait a little longer yet?
Well, I think investors or portfolio managers have been trying to buy the 200 days. So they've actually had a few days to accumulate where traders want immediate gratification, so they didn't maybe want to hold because their time frame is different. So there's been some accumulation here at the 200-day moving average. Now the next step is, can we break above these descending trend lines? Can we break above these lower pivots, and what will be the next resistance area to watch as this market tries to make some progress as we move forward?
So let's look at the chart to see what that next resistance level is, because obviously markets are watching Greece today with the vote of confidence for George Papandreou, the Prime Minister of Greece, coming later today. So what's that level we got to watch to see if it holds?
So if you take a look at the spiders, because that's what most people trade. Okay, here is a 200-day. We hovered here for a few days. Some tried to accumulate it. Yesterday we had a negative to positive, nice green bar. Now we need to see if we could stay above 128. We're opening above here now. So the next area to watch will be this 129.50 to 129.70. And then I do think the ultimate line in the sand will be 131. So we talk about the easy part of the rally versus the more difficult. Yesterday was day one. I still think we have an easy rally back to 130 into the end of the quarter, into some window dressing, if the market wants to do that. But then for the fight for direction, that's going to come if it gets back to that level around, I would say, 131. That's when the bears are going to have to take some control if they want to make new lows at some point this summer.
Really interesting note yesterday from S&P. Sam Stovall, who's the chief investment strategist, said that all the stock declines that were more than 6 weeks or more since 1950 were then followed for the next 6 weeks by more rises and falls. But at the end of the day, the S&P was still down 1% from its low. So I think that's interesting. So we could see rallies, but in 5 weeks, can it really hold anything?
Well, that's interesting also, because remember we talked about the thesis last summer. Last summer you saw 1040 to 1050 as that crucial pivot from actually late May to almost August. So for 4 months, we wrestled with negative headlines, but the market held that support. So for the next month or two, when we end QE2, we get more headlines out of Greece, we wrestle with the debt ceiling for August 2nd, we could see this as the important support. And if we could hold above it and go sideways for a few weeks, then we get through these headlines, we get a better third, fourth quarter, and we could still rally into year end. But this area has to hold.